The flame-grilled Whopper from Burger King. The most food-filling burger.
Is it, though?
Is that?
Yes. A slightly better version of you.
I don't understand.
Just like the new Whopper that's juicier and tastier than ever before. Same, but hits different. That's my line now.
Oh, sorry.
Whopper never tasted so good. Order now on the Burger King app.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Save big with 6 chili cheese bites for just £1.99. Crispy on the outside, smooth and spicy on the inside. Exclusively on the app.
Let's go!
Good evening, this is Paul Cooney in the heart of Glasgow, just a couple of miles away from Denniston where it's 4 degrees. Charlie Mulgrew came back just over a week ago from Dubai where the weather is 29 degrees, and just flown in from Doha after the Under-17s World Cup, Craig Moore, where the temperature, Craig, is 31 degrees. Welcome back to Glasgow.
Great to be back. This is probably the weather that suits me best, Paul, although it was nice to get a little bit of sun, I've got to say.
Charlie, where would you want to be apart from Glasgow?
I was watching the golf in Dubai although just back, I would love to be back there. Amazing weather.
You still got a bit of colour, haven't you? After
a wee bit.
Yeah.
Weather bare beat. I was in Donald the other day playing golf. Lovely Scottish weather.
Saw it in the socials.
Freezing.
Beautiful course though, isn't it?
Lovely course, beautiful place.
Did you play well?
No. I'm trying to get. So I've said I'm going to try and get to single figures before Christmas, before New Year, and so every time I go out, I take a score, and if I can get under 80, that would probably get me there because I'm 11.7 right now, and I shot a 90, and that's not including 2 mulligans off a tee. The first tee, I turned up with no warm up, had a couple of putts, and then just started. One went way right, one was shanked. I went right, we'll call them practice shots there. I played, I get 90 for there.
Did you bump into anyone the way round? Can you tell us? You can say 2 former teammates.
Two people let me through. Played Marcel about the 16th, they let me through. I was 15th, wondering why 2 people in front of me when they let me through. Eventually they did, and it was ended up being Sean Malone and Steve McManus. So I played the last 4 holes with them.
Wow, where
they told me
now?
everything about the Celtic ins and outs, the job, who's getting it and everything. So we'll reveal that.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Exclusive.
Craig, you and I can go home. Over to you, Charles. We're right in the middle of the international break. We're only 48 hours away, Craig, from Scotland up against Greece. You've come back. I know you keep in touch with things. Obviously, you watched a lot of football. We want to hear about the young players that are coming through. Scotland weren't in the under-20, the under-17 World Cup. But for Scotland with this game against Greece, what's your feeling, your early feeling for Scotland?
This is going to be a real test. I think away from home, Greece, we've seen on a number of occasions that they are a decent side. They can hurt you, but I think Scotland have got that will and desire. They'll need to be well organised, Paul. But I think with what's at stake, I think Scotland can get a result. I really do believe that because of what's at stake. I think that energy and that hunger, and you need a little bit of luck as well. You need a little bit of luck, but it'll be a tough match because Greece, there's no pressure on them really. They can just go and play in a relaxed way, and sometimes that can be dangerous. Players are playing off the cuff with that freedom. But Scotland will be well organised,
of course,
and hopefully they can go and get the right result. Because I'd love to see Scotland in a World Cup.
Massive game, Paul. Massive game. Hopefully, we'd have definitely took this position at the start of the group. So it's great to be here, but the Greece game's a big one. That's a hard one, as Craig said. They're a good side, so hopefully can get a result there and come back and beat Denmark.
Yeah, Stevie
What a
Naismith,
game that would be.
it will be. Yeah, Tuesday night. Sell out, surely.
Absolutely.
Isn't it? 7:45 kick-off. Looking forward to that. But on Saturday, Greece against Scotland over there. I'm not sure what the temperature is, but Scotland have been training in Turkey, which is a good move, Charlie, isn't it? Get over there, get in a bit of sunshine, get ready for the game.
Yeah, get ready for it, Acclimatise, get prepared for it, get the lads together. Huge game. The players will know it, the manager will understand it, so get the players bonding. Yep, it's a good idea to get away.
We're going to speak to, we'll hear from Stephen Naismith, maybe hear from Stevie Clarke as well. There's been nothing so far. Last night we heard from Lyndon Dykes and also from Scott McKenna. On the Rangers front, Craig, given that we haven't seen you for a couple of weeks, you've kept in touch. You left Scotland just during the game.
I landed in Doha at half-time of the Old Firm match to 1-0. And then obviously Rangers equalised the blowout. So look, I've caught up on all the football, obviously seen all the weekend stuff. Röhl's come in and done a decent job outside of the old firm one. It was an opportunity to win a trophy, so that's disappointing.
Sure. Roma was always going to be tough as well.
Roma
wasn't
great. I watched that over there.
Where did you watch
in
it?
Doha. I watched it in a pub, McGettigan's. I caught the Celtic game prior to the Rangers game. Unfortunately, again, it wasn't a great night for Scottish football.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, domestically, it's been okay in terms of, well, that's what three wins now, a couple of clean sheets. Look, it's an improvement, Paul. There's no doubt about that. What he was up against in terms of improving had to be really the case.
Because it's going to be what's he got to work with come January. It's going to be the question for Celtic as well. But on Rangers, it's going to be what does he need to do to be challenging with the squad that he's got. They spent 30 million in the summer. The fans so far like Danny Röhl.
I think he's played it rather smart.
Yeah.
Danny Röhl. Well, I mean, even after the defeat, the Europa game, I forget it was against the drubbing, 3-0 away. Oh, my memory's gone just now. Anyway, he goes and he thanks the supporters after the match, after getting beat 3-0. Not all managers do that. So again, he seems to be somebody that understands the importance of the supporter base. Yeah. And if you can connect with that, obviously look to try and improve your players. And look, people then kind of buy in regards to the supporters as well, Paul. They've got a manager that is trying his absolute best, looking to improve players. Mikey Moore looked a different beast on the weekend. And again, he's not being asked to do anything differently, Mikey Moore, still playing in the way to allow Tav to get on the outside. But he just looked a little bit brighter, a little bit smarter, and as if he understood that role more.
Yep.
Yeah, I think when you look back at Russell Martin and the small battles he spoke about with the brogues and the suit. And
another good point.
We things like that. Röhl's come in straight away and sort of won the wee battles. He's connected. He realised this connection, which is clever for him, between the fans and the management and the players. And he's bringing that together. Small things like cheering, going over to applaud the fans and stuff. I know he got a bit of stick for it. Somebody come on and backed him as well for it. I think it's clever management to get that whole place connected is what's needed, and he started doing that.
And I think the game that I was talking about was the Bran Paul.
Right, yeah.
Spot on.
He was just in the door.
He was just in the door. But like I says, you're right that you can go on when you take these jobs, any job, you can go in and pick fights.
Yeah.
Or you can go on, as Charlie's touched on there, get your good wins, like turn up the way that you're expected to turn up at the football club. So it's a small win, but again, all of a sudden, that's not an issue.
Yeah, it's a small win. It gives you a wee bit of margin for error. If you go in there and you don't do it, like we saw with Russell Martin, he's nowhere in the suit, which is fine. You need to right away win games. At the end of the day, winning games will get everybody on side, but to give yourself a wee bit of sort of wiggle room and allow yourself a bit of time to get your management style across and your tactics, you need to sort of win these wee battles to get everybody in the same wavelength, pushing in the right direction.
Rangers fans are still, they're not sure about upstairs, what's happening at the club, and obviously the signings during the summer, most notably the strikers. Miovski coming back in so far, not the player that he was, and what was he, 4.5 million?
Yes.
And obviously Chermiti and Danilo as well, but he's been there for a long time, but there's major question marks about the signings.
Well, I think again, you look at Rangers in terms of a title threat and what they need to look like. It's a striker that can score a lot of goals. They don't look as if they currently have that. I still think defensively Rangers are weak through the centre. I really do. And I know that it's chop and change a little bit in terms of the personnel, but I just don't think it's strong enough. So they're the areas for me that I think are the real difference. In midfield, I think there's enough bodies in there. There's enough people that can do a job in there. Goalkeeper, look, Jack's been very, very good for Rangers. The problem that Jack has is he does make big mistakes. And again, the goalkeeper, you want him to save you in a match. And he has done that loads of times. But I think there's been, the occasions where there's a real blunder in his locker as well.
Yeah, I think the main area they'll be looking for is a forward, I'd imagine. I know there's a lot of money being spent in forwards in that area with Miovski and Chermiti, but I think if you can get somebody out on loan or manage to create the budget to get a forward in, it's the most important area in the team, you could argue. between that and right to your centre half, to your goalie. You need to have strength there in both boxes, and Rangers look like they've got a problem up front for me.
Did we all get it wrong about Miovski? Charlie said something last week, which was sometimes if you go from an Aberdeen's a big club. He's an Aberdeen legend.
So
but if you go
point-
to
my-
Rangers or Celtic,
Yeah, my point was, Paul, that to play for Aberdeen, although it's a club that's got a lot of pressure and the fans put pressure on you, it's nothing compared to Rangers. So we look at Miovski and we go, I played against him, and then I looked at the times where he done really well, and I thought, oh, Miovski's a good player. But we never seen the 3 or 4 weeks maybe where he wasn't, or the 2 weeks he can get away with Aberdeen. Here you're right in the spotlight. You're at Rangers every single game. There's a spotlight on you, and you don't get 7 games, 90 minutes to find your feet. You need to hit the ground running. I think that's where the question marks are starting to come over him a wee bit, to say, right, where is this Miovski that we all thought we saw at Aberdeen in the good spells? We need it more consistent, and he's not done that.
great point.
Yeah, and I think it is a really good.
Because I remember him racing away from Liam Scales in a really good Celtic side up at Pittodrie.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Brilliant goal,
Like,
cut
this is a
inside.
player.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I always remember of Miovski. But it's different when you're playing Celtic. It's much more open for them. But if you're playing against many of the other teams,
Well, exactly that. So
Yeah.
Celtic were on the halfway line that day. The clearance went down the side. He won the race. He cut back inside, and it's a great finish. But 9 times out of 10, he'll be against teams that are backed into their own box, and it's finding that space in the box, like he did for his goal. I can't remember who it was against. He got to sell a goal, and you think, right, kick on for there. But his kind of general play and everything's not kind of matched up. Although since Danny Röhl's come in, I don't know I think he's maybe started 1 game. I don't think he started, definitely no more than 2. Chermiti's been kind of the one that's been up there, and Danilo as well. So he still needs time, but he needs to start doing it now.
Yeah, I think the problem that for strikers, right? So strikers thrive on service, and for a long period of time, Rangers in terms of the quality and the service, it just has not been there. So I guess that consistency for a striker also hasn't been there. I think that you're going to get people slightly in favour of Miovski at 4.5 million rather than, unfortunately, Chermiti at 8 million, because that's the one that still has people scratching their heads. Miovski, you go, okay, you know what I mean, to take that step up from Aberdeen. I know he's gone and had that brief spell in Spain, Charlie, but people will be a little bit more patient with a Miovski, I think. Still a decent enough age where, and again, we've got to stop probably talking about sell-ons at clubs, the business is about trying to do now.
As soon as you pass that 6 million mark at Celtic and Rangers, there's pressure, isn't there?
And there's pressure on every player, but unfortunately that price tag can make or break certain characters as well.
And that affected Adam Ida maybe a wee bit, Charlie, last
100%.
season.
I mean, as soon as I think Adam Ida, I see 9 million right next to his name, and that's maybe unfair on the boy, but it's natural. You go, right, when's the last time Celtic spent 9 million? When's the last time Rangers spent 8 million? Let's see what you've got. If Miovski's 4 million, you should be double the player. That's sadly how it's looked on, but that's how it is. So he needs to. Chermiti for me hasn't shown anything really in terms of, I don't know, is he quick? Is he great at holding the ball in? Is he brilliant in the air? And then you see the 2 chances against Celtic, you think, well, you put one of them in, you think, do you know what, he's a finisher. He's got a finisher in him, but he doesn't. So there's big question marks over him.
And the flip side, we go, because we're all bouncing between Rangers and Celtic, right? You look at Johnny Kenny, right now. He's a young lad. He's doing it the hard way in terms of how he's had to try and find his way. Maybe a little bit by luck because of Celtic allowing players to go. You score a goal in the Old Firm game, that can be the making of a player.
Something reminded
I know
me
he
of-
scored a couple before against Falkirk, but all of a sudden now you're looking at a different type of player that could really kickstart his career.
I look at him now and I think he can score goals. Whereas before I openly admit it, I thought he's not going to score for Celtic. He's not a Celtic striker. Now, he'd been at Queen's Park on loan, it hadn't worked out. So you think, right, he goes to Shamrock and he does go well, he scores goals. But I think it's a completely different level. You're still not. Now get a wee bit of management and step him up. His movement looks good all of a sudden. He looks like he can score goals and he's thriving with confidence.
You're right, 3 weeks ago, Charlie, you're watching him and you think he's given everything, but he's not going to quite. He couldn't score.
He could.
And
Again, I looked at him and I thought, is he quick? Is he a good finisher? Can he hold it up? What's his traits? Is he good movement? I didn't really see any of that. Now all of a sudden I'm seeing it all, and it's mad what confidence does for you. When you've got trust in the manager who's talking to you, or you feel a sort of love from him. Whatever Martin O'Neill effect has been on Kenny, it's working.
And this particular match, Paul, you know, if you score in this particular, and I always felt as a player, unless I made a significant contribution in an Old Firm match, that I didn't really deserve to be there. But absolutely. But once you do make those contributions, you go, it's more of a feeling of I belong.
Yeah.
Charlie, you'll never forget your first goal against Rangers.
That's right. My first and only goal, the diving header. Yep. Watching that ball coming over, couldn't believe it was me that was about to connect with it. So I just went to my head. It was about 2 feet off the ground. Everybody talks about this great diving header. Yeah. I just didn't want to volley because I'd have volleyed it right over the stand. And I just went to my head. So much different. Your life could have been different. I know. And then I just headed it down, and then next minute's in the back of the net. It's a real feeling.
So in the excellent G850 podcast where we talk about the Old Firm, the Glasgow Derby over the years for Glasgow's 850th anniversary, we had Ian Crocker in the studio. It's available online, and we just did it a couple of months ago, and I've got Ian Crocker. I said, Ian, give us one of your great commentaries. What about Charlie's goal against Rangers? How daft am I? He's commentated for years on so many games. He's a brilliant commentator, and he's looking at me. He's like, well, Paul, help me out. How do I remember one goal, albeit Charles's goal? I mean, great guy. It's a good programme as well, isn't it?
What's that?
The G850. Remember we did it?
Yeah, it was a good laugh.
It was. Barry's in good form as well.
Yeah, it was good.
So
it was funny.
Yep, Barry will be back with us. Well, in fact, tomorrow night he won't be here because it's the Masters tomorrow evening.
What's he doing to himself?
Just come back to that podcast quickly while I keep my mind there.
Yeah.
I quite liked your opening line. But
what was it?
Did they take that lad out?
I can't remember. We'll check it during the break. International Week 0808 17 700. The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Charlie Mulgrew is in the house. So too is Craig Moore. Tomorrow night, Stephen McGinn will be here just ahead of the Scotland
Masters
games. So that'll
tomorrow
be good.
night.
And the Masters as well. And Richard Foster. And we'll find out tomorrow night what Amy, his wife Amy MacDonald, thinks of him as a pundit. So she was at the Scottish Music Awards on Saturday night. So Lauren and Taylor were interviewing Amy MacDonald, so she'll be in the show tomorrow night. What are you thinking about the Masters?
What was it?
She got an achievement award.
Nice.
As she should. Some great stuff, and we're all going to see her in December. I don't know if you're invited, Charlie, but
is that a group chat I've not been added in yet?
Probably.
That's a shambles.
I know.
That's a surprise.
What other group chats? I'm not in any of them. The WhatsApp chats. No, Charlie. Tomorrow night you'll be playing. This time tomorrow you'll be in Aberdeen.
Aye. I've just remembered I've still got the big yellow trainers for last year. A size too big for me. They're falling out of my own feet. I've not managed to sell them, and I've not managed to get myself a new pair. So the yellow bananas will be on tomorrow night on BBC. It's on TV.
Is it? Well, you're on it. I don't know.
I think it is on television.
I
think it is on television.
Look out for it tomorrow night. Yep, we could get you a new pair. What size? Size 11.
It's too late now. I need to wear them.
Of course you do.
Just put an extra pair of socks on.
Indeed,
Paul.
yeah. Craig, you're not playing? No, I know. I've asked you before.
Actually, I've never played in the Masters.
Do you ever go as manager? Coach?
No, Barry tried to drag me along a couple of years ago.
Did you want a 3-year deal?
I certainly wasn't taking interim, that's for sure. Look, it seems as if it was good fun. There's a few fellas still playing that probably shouldn't be playing. But
Big Alves was smashing people last year.
That's right. So
it was mad.
It
was a few people. It was ready. It was a bit heated, but it was all right. The big
how
man.
do you settle that afterwards? Then is it okay? Does it calm down?
I think after the incident at Hams, it's done. Once that game's done, it's done after a couple of minutes. But he was going about flying into people. He was a man possessed. So he's playing again. Look out for him. He'll be trying to do people.
Still competitors though. I mean, Charlie will go up there as well, and he'll be going and playing those games and not wanting to lose matches and all that. So it's still there, isn't it?
We were fuming last year. We actually played some good stuff last year, and we kept getting caught. So the way it works is there's a halfway line, and it's a 5v5. Well, 6v6 with your goalies. But when you're attacking. You can have 5 in their half, and they need to keep one up. So you're 5v4 with attacking. But the risk is there. You get an extra man, but if you lose the ball, they pass it right up to him. You're a bit of bother. So we lost a couple of goals like that last year.
I've seen that's why Boydie's actually not too bad at it because he can't move. And he's the one that's left in the half.
And he's playing tomorrow night, isn't he?
Is he?
Chris Boyd is there, I believe so.
I'll roll him.
I thought he'd a sore knee unless he's back.
No, you've got the latest news.
I think he's
Who's in your team?
Bobby Petty, Joe Ledley, Effie Ambrose, Kelvin Wilson, myself, Simon Donnelly,
Sid,
and there's The last time I saw the team, it was goalkeeper to be confirmed, so I'm not sure.
Bit like Scotland, we're struggling for keepers.
Might give Scott Bain up. For not using them.
Yeah, and the Rangers team,
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Barry's playing.
Barry, Lee
he'll be
McCulloch,
there.
I think.
that's
Lee
right, yes.
McCulloch,
Squad.
Done.
Broadfoot.
Is Kenny Miller in as well? He's just back,
I don't think Kenny's in. Nacho
Kirk
Novo,
Broadfoot. Yeah.
Waghorn.
Waghorn.
Wow.
A couple of youngsters.
Young ones, yeah. Kirk Broadfoot was one of your players, of course, wasn't he?
Legs.
He's
Celtic.
still fit.
Yeah.
He's like a 30-year-old.
You know, who you could have for a goalkeeper?
Who?
I think he's in Canada at the moment. You should have given him a shout, boy Stuart Kerr.
There we are.
That would have been a good one.
Yeah, there you go. But
Exceltic
I don't work for.
Okay. All right. That's tomorrow night up in Aberdeen. What's happening with Celtic, Charlie? We'll talk about that next. There have been apparently interviews going on in London for the next manager.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Enjoy the £5.99 regular Whopper meal. Juicier than ever and bursting with flavour. With fries and a drink. Only on the app.
Thursday night, we're just 2 days, 49 hours, 50 hours away from Greece against Scotland, and we're just 4 points away from going to the World Cup, which hasn't happened since 1998, Craig.
Come on, Scotland.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. Charlie, before your
Dog
time, you were
school
just
for
a
that.
boy. Yeah.
Dog school for that.
Yeah.
I was 10.
Oh, were
No, I
you?
was 12, sorry.
Yeah.
I stayed off school and thinking the start time for the show was whatever time, just say 12.
Yeah.
Brilliant, because it was in Brazil. Stayed off school. By the time the actual ceremony and everything had finished and the whole opening thing, it was the kick-off, wasn't it? School was finished, so I remember watching it, but Jim Leighton with the Vaseline in his eyebrows and all that, remember?
Brilliant.
Brilliant times. How good would it be to get there? It'd be amazing.
It'll be amazing. Will be amazing.
Will be amazing, yeah.
I think we're willing it that it's going to happen. We'll talk Celtic in a second or two. In fact, Charlie, there's no word yet about who the new manager is. Do you think there's somebody's going to be appointed just now, or there's quite a body of thinking which is leave it with Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney at the moment?
Well, I'm not against that for Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney. I think they've done brilliant, so there's no reason why they shouldn't stay on, but I don't think they will for whatever reason. I've just got a feeling that they'll try and get things done because they'll want to have a good transfer window in January, and they'll want the manager that comes in to build for the future, and he'll be able to sort of give the final word on the signings for January. That's what my feeling is, having no inside information, just my gut feeling.
It's a huge window. I mean, I know every window is big, but for Celtic it's huge because the team that was there, I know there's been lots of changes, but that kind of era, Ange Postecoglou, Brendan Rodgers, that team now.
I'm looking forward to a change, Paul. See this 4-3-3. I've watched it for years. I've watched the teams coming through. My son's been there since he's 17 now. He's been there since he's 13, 14. I've watched so many games. They all play the same way. I'm sick of it, to be honest. I want something different. The fact that the boy Nancy's going to play a back 3-4-3 or something excites me a wee bit. I would like to see something different. Something completely different.
Yeah. Any insight, Wilfried Nancy?
I looked a wee bit. I had a wee look at him when he was mentioned. Didn't know much other night. And I had a wee look, and he looks like he plays the 3-4-3. He looks like attacking football. He looks like a good guy. He speaks about how he manages the human being and about and his culture he creates is a culture where he gets to know the players. Gets to understand them and understanding the person they are, and so he sounds like he's got the man management side. It's alright speaking a good game, but let's see if he does it. But it sounds like he does, and then his tactical side seems alright. So I'm not against that after looking into him. I think there's a lot of good things said about him.
Let's go on the lines. 08 08 17 17 700. Josh is on. Hi, Josh.
Alright, Paul. Alright, Charlie. Alright, Craig.
Hey, Josh.
Thank you. How are you?
What's happening, mate?
Yeah, sounds, from a player's perspective, guys, Craig in particular, the players need a certain aura about them to come into the Old Firm environment. Is it kind of the same from a managerial point of view? I mean, Wilfried Nancy's been dismissed out of hand by certain Celtic fans, but he's part of the recruitment process for a reason. What would give the dressing room the biggest buzz, would you guys say? That the relatively unknown manager coming in, or someone who's got experience maybe of Scottish football or around the European scene, because for me it's quite exciting to have these new names mentioned as part of the aforementioned recruitment process. From a player's perspective, especially as a captain, Craig.
Yeah, Craig.
Do you want
Yeah.
to try and trust
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, no, look, top question. I think, again, being in a dressing room in a situation where new managers and all that sort of stuff have come in to the building, I think players generally will look at backgrounds of managers and kind of, look at the team and how they've played. And in terms of the Nancy, I think Celtic players will be looking at that going, by the way, I wouldn't mind a slice of that because it's entertaining. Again, it's heavily based on possession, which is suitable because that's what Celtic do here in Scotland anyway. But getting bodies forward, creating chances, so whether you be a defender or a midfielder or a striker, it's a brand that you go, that's exciting. And I'm like you in regards to Josh in terms of it's good to look sometimes further afield. The MLS is a good league. Is it the top 5 in the world? No, it's not, but it's a good, solid league. And I think at times here in the UK we can be a little bit snobbish to the outside world, the big bad world that's out there. And again, if there's opportunities for these type of managers to come in and have a real influence on a club, then why not?
How would it rank with the J League? Because 4 or 5 years ago, there was Ange Postecoglou came into town. Nobody knew him.
Yeah.
He had success over there. So would it compare with J League?
In terms of the standard of the MLS? Again,
Maybe.
look, I would say that technically the Japanese league is probably a different type, but that doesn't necessarily always translate to that physical setup that we do have here. You still need to have that presence here. MLS is probably more so, Paul, because again, you look at the American players over a period of time, they're athletes. They're athletes. Whether they're good enough or not, they're strong runners, they're good athletes, they're competitive enough. His brand of football is very similar to Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah.
It's very, very similar.
From my point of view, Josh, when I think of new managers coming into changing rooms, when I've been in, I think footballers, from my experience, are like, well, is he going to like me, firstly?
Yeah.
Is he going to like me? And in the first training session, regardless of who it is, everybody's absolutely at it to basically show, I can play here, I'm a good player, look at me, basically. That's what it is. So, obviously, if you carry a huge name, like I imagine Gerrard would have done coming into Rangers, you've got that wee extra bit of respect. But even if you don't, I think the players, from my experience, is everybody's got the utmost respect and they just want to impress you about how professional they are and how much they want to play in the team, and they're just desperate for you to, because they know that a manager comes in and he's done a bit of research and you're hoping that he understands you as a player and he manages you well and you can be in his plan. So that's basically what I'd imagine the Celtic players will be thinking. Let's see if it is Nancy, what's he going to be like with me? Is he going to like me? Can I impress him to be in the team? Because there's times where managers come in and straight away they've already made their mind up, players, and go, well, he's not going to play, or he's not going to play, or they're definitely halfway to that. So,
did you ever have that personally? Did you ever think, I don't think the manager fancies me? Maybe not.
I'm trying to think.
Or did somebody come in and you thought, God, he's really impressed, he gets it?
There's been times where I've always felt when a manager's come in, there's never been a scenario where I've been an older player, or like maybe the board have told him when he took the job, you need to get rid of this player. So I've been lucky enough not to kind of be in that scenario, and I've thankfully been in scenarios where the managers maybe took me in as a leadership group and took me in quickly and made me kind of understand that I was in the plans. But as a young boy coming through, when Gordon Strachan came in, straight away Martin O'Neill, nowhere near the plans under Martin O'Neill, because I was young and I wasn't anywhere near it. And then when Gordon Strachan comes in, you're training with the first team, you're doing the pre-season with the first team. All of a sudden you think, I'm more open to getting a chance here. And
that must have been a great feeling. And you must have improved.
An amazing feeling, amazing feeling.
You became the top player that you are, or were.
Well, I will eventually get rid of me, so
that happens as well. But
nobody
lasts forever.
So eventually get rid of me, realising I was ready and I had to grow up. But then he ended up giving me my Scotland cap, so everything worked for a reason. But to answer your question, I think the players are excited. The players get excited, but hoping and sort of wishing that the manager will like them as a person, as a player, and they can fit into his style.
Josh, I think the best way to describe this to you, imagine the days, the days when you were back at school right? And all of a sudden you get a new teacher.
Yeah.
Right? And when your new teacher comes in, you want someone that's not too strict, right? That's going to let you kind of express yourself a little bit. And it's really the same in terms of a new coach coming in. You want somebody that's going to be firm but not overly crazy. For example, remember Dick Avocart when he come into Rangers? And Dick was an unbelievable manager. But at the beginning, I'm like, oh my God, this is OTT.
Taskmaster.
Oh my God. Like, I've touched on this story before in terms of Rangers doing pre-season in Florida. Ian Ferguson being on holiday in Florida had to fly back from Florida to Glasgow to fly out with the team back to Florida. And you're going, oh my God, like, you know what I mean? So it's trying to find, no, and that's true.
What was carbon footprint?
But you know what I mean? So you listen, you want somebody that finds that connection with the playing group, because you find that connection with the playing group, no matter what level you're at, and you can go and achieve special things.
And I think I think it's also the same vice versa. What I've noticed with managers coming in is they'll recognise who the leaders are in the group and who the captain is and who people respect, and he'll want to sort of be on their side as well and sort of sell the message to them first. I think notoriously they'll pick up the phone to your captain and your leaders and say, I'm coming in, this is what I need for you, this is how I see you, probably I see you as a good player, and sort of get them on side straight away. So it's a bit of that at the start.
Josh, they like that question. Have you got another one tonight?
Yeah. You fell asleep, Josh?
I was listening with great intent, boys.
I'm glad you were.
I'm Paul, from your point of view as well, I want to chuck a question to you as well, actually.
Yeah. That's good cost
watching the Premier Sports coverage with the aforementioned Mr. Charles Mulgrew on Sunday. The likes of Connie McLaughlin and Emma Dodds, Paul, from a female point of view, they're excelling in the field. So what's your views on that in terms of that development from that side of broadcasting?
Just females broadcasting. Well, I was lucky enough to be, I think I was head of Radio Clyde at the time when Connie was coming through. I wasn't involved so much with Connie at that point. I was the MD, but Peter Martin helped to develop Connie. And Emma Dodds, I was involved bringing her in.
She was at Rangers when I was there.
After that. But she was in there and she was absolutely brilliant working Super Scoreboard. I could tell right away Emma Dodds knows her stuff. I thought she was absolutely brilliant. I didn't work closely with Connie, but with Emma she was part of the team. And there was also a girl, a young woman, she was a girl at the time, Jane Dougal. She's on BBC. You see her in the morning, sometimes on BBC Breakfast. She's from Newton Mearns. So the talent that there is, and I wouldn't say whether it was male or female, it was really good young people coming through. Like David Tanner was a really good young guy coming through.
Yeah, David's been about for a long time,
was one of the guys. So I never see it that way. It's a bit like what I said to Andy Walker when he started. Don't see the colour of a jersey, the green and white in his case, or the blue and white, because just see the people and how do you read it. And that's why that's how I've tried to do it. And I find with them, it's like Kelly Dalglish. I mean, Kelly Dalglish she's absolutely brilliant. Gabby Roslin. So I think that's what you're asking me there. I wanted to ask you, Josh, have you watched the Kenny Dalglish documentary film that's on just now? Because everyone has to watch this on Prime. Have you watched it, guys? Yeah, it's amazing. I started it last night. It's on Prime at the moment. Okay. It's brilliant. Starts with his days at Celtic. You see some of the old footage, Jockstein and him playing. It's done brilliantly by a top filmmaker. Josh, you need to watch it. You'll love it.
Yeah, 100% on that watch list. And, thanks for the insight, because, from my point of view, there's been certain things being said about females working in male sport, and I just think, exactly the same as you, Paul. If people are good enough, they deserve the opportunity, they deserve that chance to go and thrive and show their knowledge. And, from watching Emma and watching Connie, they're just as good as the likes of yourself, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think they're a lot better, which is what you want. Always, Josh, work with people who are better than you. Honestly, it makes you get a longevity. You then enjoy life. Just try and work with really good people.
Would you like it with Paul, Josh?
And help. Enough.
Straight and direct, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? And he has that wit and banter about him as well. And I phoned up.
He's gone red here. Keep going.
What night was that? That was Tuesday night. I was good on Tuesday. Josh, that's really good of you. But I love it. And working with the guys here and people and the girls as well. And Leanne Crichton was on a lot. She's busy at the moment, the Rangers women. And we're always looking. In fact, I'll tell you, Emma, when I was away the other week, and Rob was in, I think, India covering golf. We tried to get Emma to do it, and I bumped into her at the airport. Anyway, so Emma will be on soon, I would imagine, as well on this show. So Connie's everywhere, isn't she, on BBC as well? So I think it's brilliant though. Listen to the people, watch them or whatever on the telly, and it's the content rather than, it's what they can do.
I think they do brilliant.
Well, you work with them.
Some of the stuff they remember and the way they sort of the way they're prepared in that, brilliant.
Could you present, Charlie?
I would need a bit of work on it.
I think it could happen as well.
I need a bit of work on it. The
stuff you're doing now will help you.
Yeah, the stuff that they remember and they do and they cue their lines and everything. You can see that for the experience and they're very good at it. So it would take it's like anything else. You would need to experience it for a bit.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Ali McCoist. So Ali is a brilliant presenter as well as an amazing player and all that. But it's not by accident. He works at it, does his homework, and you guys do as well. But I mean, Ali McCoist, he never stops.
No.
And he must have, and he's done really well. Wealthy man. But it's that drive that Ali's got. It doesn't happen by accident. That's what I would say. Yeah.
They've got to love it though, Paul. Yeah,
absolutely.
Obviously, you love your work and you've been doing it for a long time.
I've been lucky. Think about it, all the World Cups that I covered and all that. I remember there's a guy, Jimmy Sanderson, who was amazing before your time, the late great Jimmy Sanderson. And honestly, he said, I've covered World Cups here, there, and everywhere and all that. And then suddenly you wake up one day and you think, gosh, I was at the 82 World Cup. Jockstein was really good with me. I was a young guy coming through. Graham Souness was really good. Willie Miller, I remember when Scotland, the last game, were back on the bus and the police, the Carabinieri, I know it was Spain, not Italy, they don't let you on the bus. And Willie Miller said, let him on. And I got an interview. All these things, I think, if you're fair with people.
But small bit of luck, Paul. You've still got to put in the work. You've got to, you've got to be dedicated. You've got to make the sacrifices. And you've got to love what you do. I think if you love what you do, you've got every chance at being decent enough at it.
That's true.
You've done the 66 World Cup, didn't
you? Steady on. Oh, Josh. Charlie Mulgrew's final show, but it's been a good... Hey, listen, you've been more than 10 weeks.
Oh, yes.
I can't believe it. It has its moments. Josh, Scotland then, let's talk before you go. What do you think? What's your feeling tonight about Greece on Saturday? What do you reckon?
Well, phoned up on Tuesday with great optimism, didn't I? Saying that we're going to get 6 points. And I totally stand by that. I just think, the spirit that Stevie's fostered, the way the lads have responded to Stevie in terms of they went out in the group stage at the last tournament. I think they've used that as a bit of fuel to get back on the cart again, to keep going again. Craig and Charlie, from a player's point of view, you understand that, won't you? The peaks and troughs, sometimes it takes these big defeats to kind of act as that motivation moving forward. So I'm hoping for a decent result.
The last two games are shocking though, weren't they? Performance-wise, I'm hoping that gives them a reaction to get results in these games.
Because we've had a golden generation of players here. And we don't want it to be the epitaph as, but they didn't. We fell at the World Cup hurdle. This is an amazing chance for us, isn't it?
Massive chance. But I just think, like I said, Scotland, they will box clever. But Greece have got some, like Karetsis, the young lad who come off the bench, I think, the last game, and Pavlidis. So there is a threat up top. Absolutely. So Scotland need to be on it. But now is the time, Paul, to get to a World Cup. Absolutely, that you're not going to get a chance like this for a long time. Until the next time.
And now's the hour. Should we get a bit of poetry going? Did you hear Chris Eubank the other morning on Talk Sport? And he started with poetry and then he went biblical towards the end and all that. He was some man on with Whitey the other day. And final thing is, see the World Cup in '86. So you can imagine in Glasgow, you're producing them. There's news, there was sport. I was doing the religion because the person was off for a couple of weeks. I had to do the religious programme the night before I went to Mexico, the World Cup. The person called off. I thought, what am I going to do? So I phoned the moderator of the Church of Scotland in Glasgow, the late Dr. Bill Morris. I phoned Archbishop Winning at the time. They both came on. It sounded like Super Scoreboard. Right, let's go up to the cathedral. Yeah, we'll go to the one up at the top. And Bill Morris came on, and then the Archbishop came on. It was like he was in Rome or something, but it just sounded like the football programme. But you know what? We connected with people. We brought them on. What's happening in the churches? What's happening in the
improvising? Love it, mate.
Bringing them on, and then the next day flew out to the World Cup in Mexico.
What a World Cup that was.
Oh yeah. Listen, are we going to go next year?
I don't know.
Let's hope it was phenomenal. Let's hope
Maradona.
Indeed, yeah. I heard David Yarrow, the brilliant photographer, who got that iconic picture. Have a look at that during the break. He was speaking at the Founders Conference. Tom Hunter organised it. Willie Hockey was there as well. Hunter and Hockey on Sunday morning. David Yarrow was there. His dad or granddad.
Was him to get that picture, the hand of God?
That's one of them. And also a picture of Maradona with the. I'll show you during the break if we look it up. Josh, great call. Thank you.
Cheers, Josh.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers, Josh.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Save big with 6 chili cheese bites for just £1.99. Crispy on the outside, smooth and spicy on the inside. Exclusively on the app.
Let's go!
International week well and truly it's nearly underway. It's been a fairly long build up after a big weekend, a dramatic few weeks in domestic football with Danny Röhl turning up at Rangers and then Brendan Rodgers deciding to leave Celtic. And Martin O'Neill is back, turn the clock back to 2000 to 2005 when the iconic manager came back. He's there just now. He loves the tracksuits that he's wearing. Have you seen any of them when you were in Qatar? What do you make of it?
Again,
all right?
Martin can get away with it because it's Martin, and he was successful his time at Celtic all those years ago, Paul. I've got a really interesting, I think, question. Maybe I've asked it while I've been away to like the Celtic supporters. Right, so in terms of the best opportunity to go and win a title for this season, is it getting some stability with Martin and then reload and come next season? Or is it going through this recruitment process to try and get somebody in, obviously, as soon as they possibly can, back them immediately in a January transfer window? Is there an element of risk to that? I'd be interested to know what
there is. In my point of view, there must be, because Martin O'Neill's obviously done a great addition with he's 4 games. I know it's 3 domestic games, but the 3 domestic games have been top class and what everybody's been crying out for in terms of goals and chances created and forward passes. The Michelin game was always going to be a hard game, and it could have been anything. It could have been 4 or 5, but it was a real tough game. So it's a good point, good question.
And the reason why I asked that is because I also felt that Barry Ferguson and his staff should have been given a season at Rangers to try and kind of find out exactly where you are as a club, to then really, it might have been Barry then longer term, but I just felt as if the Rangers situation in terms of bringing Russell Martin in, timing and all that sort of stuff, I didn't think it was right at the time, and I was proven right. But Martin O'Neill, I think, gives Celtic a real live opportunity. Change now? Who knows?
In hindsight now, if you bring Barry Ferguson in and he spoke about the signings he probably would have made, the Scottish core, if nothing else, you would have had a right good Scottish core of a change room.
Absolutely.
Josh Mulligan, you like him?
Yeah,
he was one of them. Yeah. What do you like about him?
Shankland.
Yeah.
He's got so much power in his running style. He can tackle, he can defend, he can get in the box. He scored a goal against St Mirren last week.
Side foot, boom.
Side foot. He's got something, Paul. I think he can go to another level. I think he can play for Scotland. It's a brilliant signing for Hibs.
Box to boxer.
Yeah, box to box, powerful runner, like properly fit and robust. Yeah, good player.
And obviously you're going to say top scorer, 10 goals so far, Lauren Shankland.
I don't think you could have went wrong with a Shankland in your team.
I've been crying out for him for years, for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But even I think it would have been good for Celtic.
3 another.
I know he's a Rangers fan. Rangers probably the best
Rangers
opportunity.
Or Celtic, I mean, it was like guaranteed to score goals. Again, I touched on it earlier about that maybe snobbery to the foreign stuff. But I think it exists here in terms of overlooking good Scottish players outside Rangers and Celtic as well.
Well, I played with Shankland with Scotland when he first came in the squad. And I didn't know what to expect from him. When you've been in Scotland squad for a while, then people come in, or players come in, maybe late call-offs or whatever, and they come in, you don't know what to expect. You're like, here we go. And I couldn't believe the way he held the ball, and I know he'd scored loads of goals. The way he held the ball and the way he brought players into play, I was really impressed by him. And at the time, when he was a chance of potentially going to Rangers and potentially moving places, I was like, Celtic or Rangers should sign him, because then I played with him at Dundee United for a few months before he went to Belgium.
He banged in loads there, eh?
Scored loads of goals Dundee United, even in training and that. You're thinking, I think he's a real good player, but Scottish players get overlooked a lot of the time, and it's unfair.
Where did he go to Beershot in Belgium?
Went to Beershot.
Didn't work for him, did it, at that point? But I mean, what a pro, isn't he? And see your point about, he's a Rangers fan, but watching the Kenny Dalglish documentary, which you must watch.
You get shares in that?
Yes, I have. I have to declare it for Ofcom. No, I wish I had. I wish you had shares in Kenny Dalglish. It's Prime Video, honestly, and it's an iconic player, clearly. Best player I ever saw.
Yeah.
Good.
Kenny Dalglish, he was amazing. You should watch
Everybody
it.
talks
Does he
about
still
how
hold
good
the
Kenny
record?
Dalglish is.
Yeah, top joint top
National-
scorer, national appearances,
appearances.
and joint with Dennis Law for goals.
Did you ever see him play?
I know I've obviously seen footage of Kenny Dalglish.
I'd
Yeah,
love to see it. I'd love to
watch
see
it, and then when we're on next week, we'll
Get
talk
a chat
about
it.
yeah.
Spent the full 2 hours just talking about it.
That's international.
It won't be
That's
enough.
international week for you, and I love it. People are on saying they're enjoying it, but I mean, his dad would take him to Ibrox, but
I'm
he
not
ended up.
watching it.
But he ended up.
Oh, come on, Charles. Come on.
One of the greatest ever Celtic players and Celtic fans, because
Aye.
So look
The
at
way
Davy
people
Provan
talk
as
about
well.
him is-
Davy Provan was brought up a Rangers fan, and then
Played for Celtic.
But he's a Celtic, and there must be the other way around is now in more modern times.
Neil
People
McCann.
who are maybe brought exactly
Neil
brought up,
McCann,
and that's what we
But
want.
even Greg
Sure.
Greg
Yeah.
Taylor. Has Greg Taylor not got a?
I'm not sure about him, has he?
Okay,
sure.
okay. Or I got shot down.
Although they
there.
are missing.
Maybe, I don't know. I just don't know.
Well, I think so.
Final point on the documentary, which I have no
Scott
shares
Brown,
in.
big Rangers fan, Rangers tattoo on his back.
Asif Kapadia. Steady.
No, he's not. He's not. Just to confirm. That's an impulsive thought that came in my mind there.
Lawyers acting for Charlie Mulgrew say that's a joke. Kenny Dalglish, directed by Asif Kapadia, the Oscar and BAFTA winning director of Senna, Amy and Diego Maradona. Honestly, right, you must watch
I'm
it.
watching
It's
that.
fantastic.
I'll get a watch of that
Yeah,
as well.
it's great, and the scoring and the hoops and the colour. It's in colour, and then the Liverpool.
When does this?
winning-
When does the part kick in about Liverpool?
Very good. Sorry, I'm just. You see him scoring against. Sorry, but honestly, it's brilliant to
Top.
see.
Nah,
and at
brilliant.
Liverpool, and you forget Kevin Keegan was absolutely. They called him King Kevin, but everyone's forgotten that because Kenny came in
Yeah.
and he's King Kenny. It's wonderful. And Souness, the relationship with him, because he was brought in. So Kenny was 440,000 next year. Graham Souness. 350,000, and along with Alan Hansen, who was there, the ex-Partick Thistle.
What a
They said
centre-back
it was
he
a
was.
Scottish mafia. Oh, it's
What a centre back
So
he was.
far.
watch
I
it.
remember Kenny Dalglish
Yep.
managing Liverpool because Craig Johnson was the first Australian player
of course,
that I knew
that's
at,
right.
at a level.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
What's this got to do with the price? Where are we at the moment on who's going to be the next Celtic manager? So we'll see. What do you think? Give us
Who
a
else
call.
was mentioned
0808 17 17 700.
McKenna.
Ghetto Knutson, yeah, and Kieran McKenna.
Kieran
Ipswich.
McKenna,
He's got a
Ipswich.
great track record, hasn't he?
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
really good things about him. Bertie's really good as well. So Nancy McKenna. There was one more mentioned.
Yeah.
The guy for Bodo
Knutson,
Glint.
yep.
Knutson.
Knutson, yep.
He had them
You
played
say
some good
Knutson, I
stuff.
say
No,
Knutson.
sorry. I didn't
No,
hear.
no,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
It's exciting times, Paul. I think it's good to see some form of change. Sometimes it's
If Dermot Desmond wants them, they'll probably get them, won't they? Like the Kieran McKenna, I'm thinking about the 5 million clause.
I would love
But
to
if
hear the
they-
interviews.
Yeah. With who?
Just
Oh,
really,
that's
I'd like to
interviews.
hear
Fly on the
Scott
wall.
spoke
I
to in
know,
London.
I know.
What does
Yeah, yeah.
that involve? PowerPoints. What's going on in there?
Rangers were, I think on that one, Paul Tisdale, I see, is leading the hunt, according to see it in the Sun this morning, alongside the club's executive team. And that's the first time I've seen that written.
You know what's
Paul
interesting?
Tisdale.
Paul Tidsdale was brought in by Brendan Rodgers. I was led to believe.
Right, okay, yeah.
Was that right? Did I hear that right? That's what I thought. I
Right,
thought
yeah.
that was his man, and he's still there. So maybe I'm wrong though. That's what I thought.
AGM is only a couple of weeks away, so I'm sure by then we'll find out what's happening. And Rangers fans, what are you thinking? Life under Danny Röhl, because Barry did mention about wearing the suit.
Yeah. Again, it's
Rangers fans are enjoying that.
yeah, but it's the history and the culture of
Yeah.
the football club. So you've got to abide by the rules of the
Yeah.
football club, in my opinion. I'd be interested to know what Rangers fans think that they need to do in terms of trying to go and attempt to win the title. We've touched on Charlie touched on a striker, which I don't disagree with.
Yeah.
I think they're a little bit soft at the back.
Yeah.
You've missed the Hearts stuff, haven't you, since you've been away? Hearts fans are. I've had a glass of red wine and put a tweet out saying Hearts will never win the league. They'll be 8 points behind in March. And I've just been attacked by Hearts fans, and it's just been kept going.
Yeah.
Aye, so I'm really hoping Hearts fall off the wagon.
Well, they've had a couple of blips, haven't they? A couple of draws.
They have.
It would be hilarious, though, from your point of view. If listen, we're Radio Glasgow. We're
I'll get a
Glasgow in the
picture with a
West.
cigar up on the
Yeah.
finger at Hearts mug.
All right, time for the news. After the news, Craig and Charlie are not the proclaimers. Craig and Charlie, they're going to give us their teams. Who do you think Scotland? How we're going to line up on Saturday? And it'll be a different team, I would imagine, for Denmark. That's coming next after the news.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Enjoy the £5.99 regular Whopper meal. Juicier than ever and bursting with flavour. With fries and a drink. Only on the app.
Let's go! The Flame Grilled Whopper from Burger King. The most food-filling burger.
Is it, though?
Is that?
Yes. A slightly better version of you.
I don't understand.
Just like the new Whopper that's juicier and tastier than ever before. Same, but hits different. That's my line now.
Oh, sorry.
Whopper never tasted so good. Order now on the Burger King app.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Save big with 6 chili cheese bites for just £1.99. Crispy on the outside, smooth and spicy on the inside. Exclusively on the app.
Let's go!
Hour 2, Paul Cooney, Craig Moore and Charlie Mulgrew. We're going to get their team for Scotland against Greece on Saturday. I want to mention a testimonial and a big one tomorrow night here in Glasgow. Partick Thistle against St Mirren, and it's for Stephen Lawless, who of course has been at the club a couple of times. 34 years old, a legend at Partick Thistle, and I hope we get a big crowd tomorrow night for him.
Get down and see it. Good player. I've seen him play a couple of times. He's a great servant for Partick Thistle, and get down there and give him the reception he deserves.
13 goals he scored when he helped to bring the Jags up from Division 1. It's not that long ago they were in the top tier.
That's right. That's when I remember them playing in the top tier. I was played against them a few times, so that was the last time they were in it, wasn't it?
Yep.
It was a tough place to go as well. Back in the day, I'm saying, remember playing against Partick Thistle in the top flight. And fair play to Lawless for the testimonial, because they're not things that you see very often in today's game. The loyalty is going straight out the window. You've seen someone to stay for a period of time that merits a testimonial. So get out and get behind it. I'm sure it'll be a great event.
Friday night,
great match. Yeah.
Firhill tomorrow night, Partick
Won't be
Thistle
cold either.
against St Mirren.
You're either loyal if you've not been offered the money to move. That's the only option.
So he shuns the limelight as well, doesn't like it. But I hear he's a character in the dressing room. So that's tomorrow night. Good luck and get along to that game for Stephen Lawless. Looking forward to that tomorrow. And we've also got in the women's game tomorrow night, we've got the Cup semi-finals, Sky Cup, isn't it? We've got Rangers against Celtic, and we've got Glasgow City against Hibs. Two massive games. We spoke about it last night on the programme. So, and you get a big crowd for both of them. Petershill, of course, for Glasgow City. That's where they play normally.
That's where they play. Yeah. Not a bad venue.
Yeah, indeed. Played in it many years ago.
Did you?
A long time ago. Yeah. Let's not go there. And you've probably never played there, Charlie. Petershill Park.
Played an under 10s cup final against Rangers there. For Celtic Boys Club back in the day.
Did you win?
Oh, of course, don't ask silly questions.
Just make it up, mate.
Craig, this is getting a bit. Come on.
He's never lost a game in his life.
Second, what was it like winning a treble, Craig Moore?
I don't remember too much of it, to be honest with you.
Did you get a treble, Charlie? And I don't know the answer. A double. Yeah,
never
double.
got a treble.
A double. Yeah.
Such a hard thing to do.
Double's amazing, you know.
Well, double's hard enough.
Yeah.
Imagine a treble. What a treble would be. That's some gone.
No, well, I mean, again, but Celtic have knocked out that on a regular basis, haven't they? I mean, look, Rangers and Celtic, you should be winning trophies. Timing is very important, because we know how, what's the word, is it cyclical it can be here in Glasgow?
And it will turn. It does change.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I just want to say in Glasgow City, they were 1-1 last night with Sporting Lisbon in the European Champions League. And they had so many chances, Craig. So 1-1, but it probably should have been the home win.
Yeah. And again, like this, those home wins are really important in any competition, Paul. But you're always punching, aren't you? For the women in the Champions League with the resources and what have you. But better off than losing for sure.
Back to the international scene, if you want to talk with Charlie or Craig, 0808 17 17 700, roughly 100 caps between them. In Charlie's case for Scotland, and for you, Craig, of course, it was for the Aussies.
Yeah, the Aussies, the other side of the world. I don't know how many good caps are in there, but got to about 52, 53.
Everyone, phenomenal. Right, let's hear from Stephen Naismith, who's been speaking ahead of the game. He's talking about Stevie Clarke and saying, listen, if we qualify, he'll go down as one of the legendary Scottish managers.
I think if you speak to the older generations, as with anything in football, they'll always say the older generation were better. but in my lifetime, he's been the best manager. And like any achievement, people will not really appreciate it fully until it's 10, 15 years down the line. But one thing I do know from him is he does not want any of that acclaim or anything like that. He just wants to get to a World Cup. From the first time I came in as a coach, it was the first thing he said to the group, I want to get to a World Cup. We're 2 games away.
2 games away, Charlie.
So close, but
what about Stevie Clarke?
Amazing what he's done. I think now we've been to 2 tournaments now. For so long, was it 20 years we couldn't get to a tournament? 2 tournaments, now we're talking about World Cups. So no, I think it just shows. I think Steve Naismith's bang on, where I don't think we'll appreciate it until the years have passed, how good a job he's done. And naturally in that position, a lot of eyes on you and a lot of criticism, and a lot of people like us having an opinion. I know I've said in the past about different bits and pieces that I would do differently or I think should be different, but at the end of the day, Stevie Clarke's the man in charge. He's the man that's got us to tournaments, and he deserves so much credit for that. A lot of respect for what he's done for the club. The players as well deserve a lot of respect, and no longer doing is legends.
Look what he did at Kilmarnock. Took
Great job
to 3rd.
Yep.
Kilmarnock to 3rd. And what he's done with Scotland, is he? Well, how would you rate him? He's not away yet, but this was probably going to be his last tournament.
Yeah, I just think he's very effective. Is he somebody that is going to be flashy? No, he's absolutely not. Like I said, he's never too high, he's never too low. I think he just hits the right spot. And he fends off the media when he needs to. He protects his players. I think he's done a wonderful job. But what I will say, whether you be a coach, whether you be a player, the opportunity to go and play in a World Cup, it really is amazing. You know, again, I was fortunate enough to have the experience, and I'd played Champions League football and won trophies and what have you, Charlie. And
did you play a World Cup?
Played 2. And then 2006 and 2010.
Brilliant.
Yeah. See, going to the World Cup, it just, you have this expectation of what it's going to be like. It surpassed that, mate. It was so much more. It was just such a special feeling. Everything about the tournament.
So Japan, Korea, yeah, and Germany.
No, so 2000 Germany and South Africa.
Of course.
2006 was Germany. 2010. 2006 we played against Brazil, Japan, Croatia. We qualified.
Wow.
We went through. We got knocked out by Italy. Last minute penalty. Totti scored. Get back to the centre circle. Full time. 2010 we got gubbed the first game against Germany. Got an absolute doing. Drew with Ghana and beat Serbia. We went out on goals.
That's not bad.
Wow. Not bad. But Charlie, honestly, like, just unbelievable. Like I says, and even for Steve Clarke and all that sort of stuff, if he was able to get this team to a World Cup again, he's going to experience something that that you've never experienced before, and it's just going to be like, wow. And the players would be exactly the same. And I would love nothing more than for this group of players and staff and the country itself to get to World Cup, because it's amazing. It really is.
Do you think it's the biggest sporting event?
It's up there, if not the biggest. Yeah, it's definitely right up there.
It's the biggest sport in the world, isn't it? And then it's the top end of that is a World Cup. I can only imagine having played in big, huge games and feeling like the whole city is thinking about that game, and you're the one guys playing in it. To think about the whole world's thinking about the World Cup, and you're playing in it, I can only imagine how good that must have felt.
That's crazy. And now they've expanded the competition, so it's going to become even bigger in terms of 48 teams.
And
now.
in America as well.
It's the biggest sporting occasion in the world.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah.
There's nothing that touches it. No. They talk about the American, the World Series and all that. It's American. I mean, massive country, continent, but for sure.
So if we draw against Greece, we beat Denmark while there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yes. Sure are, sir.
Man.
You're off to America.
Come on.
You'll be doing tours for fun, Charlie.
I might drive there in a caravan. Yeah. Just me and my golf bag. The full hang.
Archie's on already saying he remembers in South Africa in 2010 the Vuvuzelas.
Oh,
remember those? Is that what went wrong for you? They were, weren't they? Do you remember them?
Just a racket.
The Vuvuzela. Gary, do you remember that?
I played that. I tell you again, they give you a headache, absolutely.
Yeah.
But see, because of the altitude, Charlie, see if we're doing a passing drill 20 metres apart, right, and I'm passing the ball to you, it would literally move a good yard or two. So this was the ball, and because of the altitude, the World Cup where goalkeepers were struggling because anything struck with decent power from outside. The movement on the ball was incredible.
Was that the Jubilani?
Yes, that's the one.
Well remembered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was the name of the ball. I remember that.
Yeah.
The Jubilani. Yeah.
That was that World Cup.
Huh? You still selling them down the barracks? If not, I will. I was just looking there. The Vuvuzelas were banned from all future World Cups after 2010. I just remember watching it. It was on all the time and drove us nuts. Yeah. Okay, let's hope Scotland are going to be there. A bit more from Stephen Naismith then about the manager and about his mentality.
I'd probably say from, again, me coming back in at the start of the season, there's a calmness around the gaffer. I think that's probably something I've asked him before, is the Scotland job what he expected when he took it? And there was things that he thought were going to be as they have been, and there's been a lot that were different. But from being a coach before to now, I think he understands it. There's a calmness, there's no so much maybe restlessness. And I think in a strange way, I think he's enjoying it. And I think that again goes back to we could be sitting next week at a World Cup. The gaffer's got his own achievements, the most capped manager, taking the team to 2 Euros, being to a playoff of a World Cup. What's there not to enjoy? The pressure and the strain of intensity of one camp's going to be there. I definitely think he's got a better understanding of how to enjoy it more.
Charlie, Mark is on saying, could you see him? He may well go back into club football afterwards. Could you see him manage Celtic at some point?
See, that's an interesting one because his success at Kilmarnock and his success at Scotland is mainly been counter-attacking football. His big thing, having played under Steve Clarke, was very much soak up the pressure. Always when there's 1 or 2 goals in it, he's very calm at half-time. As long as there's 1 or 2 goals in it, he always believes you've got a chance of getting something from the game. So it's always very, I don't know if you call it pragmatic or whatever, but he's always about not conceding and then letting the good players go and play and get goals via counter-attack. So I would be interested to see how he would do it somewhere like Celtic, because Celtic, they'd be in the front foot, dominating possession and taking the game to teams. And I think sometimes Scotland have struggled at that. Northern Ireland at home, you can go through a few games where they've struggled, would have had to be the team that's the emphasis is on them to go and win the game. And you can look at examples when the emphasis hasn't been on and they've went and won games like Spain and big games like that. So I just think that I just would be interested to see how that would work. I think certainly in the Champions League or Europa League it would be brilliant for Celtic.
Craig?
I think he could be a future Celtic manager, yeah. Again, and I kind of don't disagree with Charlie's points there in terms of, the way that he's been with the teams that he's had. But again, I think naturally a club, excuse me, and a team like, you would have at Celtic, naturally you're going to be dominant, having the ball going forward and all that sort of stuff. And it would be a nice change for him, you know what I mean, to be able to handle that kind of thing. And certainly wouldn't rule that out, Paul, in the future.
And maybe south of the border, because as we all know, he worked with some of the best managers. And he did well at West Brom when he was manager in his own right, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, he was, I can't remember, how did they do really well? Or
They had success. I don't have it in front of me just now. But then...
Yeah, obviously with Chelsea as well.
Yeah,
so again, he's seen top players, top clubs.
Yeah, I think his biggest influence was Mourinho, though.
Yeah.
I think he speaks about that, and he's very pragmatic in his approach. So, listen, but there's no reason why he can't. I mean, if he gets these players that are attacking and he's got all the possession, then maybe he can do that. Aye.
Scott McKenna, I want to get your teams. In fact, before we hear them, you got it. Yeah. Can I just play Scott McKenna just in case he's not in your team? Because he said, look, we know that Greece, we know them really well.
Yeah, definitely. But I would say it's been a bit of a mixed bag against them, to be honest. So it's important we turn up as the best version of ourselves, because we know how dangerous they can be and how important the game is. So we know each other well, but it's important we turn up and bring the best performance we can.
And he admitted, we've had some poor performances, but hey, still winning.
Yeah, absolutely. It's maybe something we wouldn't have managed to do in the past. And it's probably a sign of how far the team's come that we're winning games and still disappointed. And I think that is a sign of a good team. Well, we're up against it, but we managed to stick together and grind it out no matter how bad or how ugly it was.
So, if this was Saturday night, what would your team be, Charlie?
Oh no, I've just based on the team that I think he'll go for.
Yeah, okay.
So this is what I think the team will be.
Yeah.
Craig Gordon, I think, will start in goals. I think Hickey will be right wing back. I think Jack Henry, Hanley, Tierney and Robertson will be a back five. Christie, Ferguson, McTominay, McGinn is a 4 in the midfield area that will flatten to like a flat 4 with Adams up front. I think he'll go and try and get he'll go and try and get a point.
Going for the point.
For the point away to Greece. Knowing how dangerous they are, I think he'll have the extra man in the centre back area rather than Doak, because I had Doak in at first ahead of Tierney and playing a back 4 with a 4-2-3-1 or whatever you want to call it. But I've took Doak out, I've put Tierney in, thinking he'll go a bit more conservative and try and stay in the game for as long as he can to get a draw at the game.
So Craig Gordon you've gone with, come back to that in a second. Then Aaron Hickey, just at the back you've got
Aaron Hickey, Jack Henry, Hanley, Tierney and Robertson.
Yeah, got that. Yeah.
Lewis Ferguson, Christie,
McTominay
and McGinn. So it might be Lewis Ferguson and McGinn as a 2, with McTominay and Christie kind of slightly higher, or he's played Christie lower and McGinn higher. Either way, with A4 in there, with Adams up top.
Craig, can I ask you first of all, the goalkeeper, Scott Bain, Liam Kelly or Craig Gordon? I'm not going to go through everyone.
I don't think listen, I think Craig Gordon is the one that probably will get the nod. I think you've got the 3 of them that aren't really playing matches, unfortunately, at this moment in time. So yeah, I mean, Craig Gordon has a huge amount of experience. I think he would get the nod.
Probably will. Stephen Naismith was asked about this yesterday, about the conundrum about the goalkeeper.
It's definitely been an area that's been tricky to navigate over the years. But what I would say is the guys that have come in at certain points have done really well. I think if you look at the very first game, Denmark away, and there's a question mark, we've got no goalies playing even every week. Angus Gunn sees the opportunity and takes it. I think in the 4 games he played, he's excellent. I would argue that they're probably 4 of his best performances internationally. That door then opens up now for another goalie to take that chance. 2 games from a World Cup, stake a claim, not only to play in these games, but to plant the seed of being the number 1. I think for a lot of international football, there is the clear number 1 in it. Everybody else knows their role, but it's one of those situations where that position's up for grabs. So I don't think it's a conundrum, because I think the manager does have trust. He's built a good bit of trust with the guys that are here. It's more of an opportunity for what goal he's selected.
Quite a story though, isn't it? He'll be 43 next month, Charlie. He's 4 years older than you.
Brilliant with some of the injuries he's been through as well, with the arm, bad arm injury at Sunderland, and then broke his leg. I was at that game. I was on the bench for Dundee United when him and Fletcher went 50-50 and he broke his leg.
Did you hear a crack from the sideline?
It was horrible to watch. Oh, you knew that. You thought the 2 of them were in a real bad way. You didn't realise who was. Oh wow, sore one. And he came back for that. Listen, his attitude and his professionalism speaks for itself, and the fact he's 43 and still getting Scotland call-ups. But I still think he's the best goalkeeper.
I don't disagree. I mean, and again, that desire and hunger, because listen, it doesn't get any easier the older you get. Sure. But wonderful professional and a wonderful goalkeeper. Paul, the only thing I've got with different, it's a question. Okay. So virtually Charlie's, that'll be very, very close, I would imagine. It's just, I would probably try to find room for Ben Doak.
Would you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he played him against Greece at home, started with him.
Yeah. I just think that the ability to push defenders back the way, especially away from home, I think could be quite invaluable. And I know it's easy to say that you can maybe bring him on if if needed and all that sort of stuff, but at the same time the game could be away. Who you would sacrifice there? Look, for me it's probably Christie, who is a very, very good player, and I
scored the other week.
So when I was thinking, I'm desperate for Doak to play in the team.
It's just where you fit him in.
That's what I wanted. My thinking was, Steve Clark brought Doak off and put Christie to the wing in the last game, and I thought, what's he doing?
He was raging as well, Doak, when he come off. Remember,
raging, and I thought to myself, Christie's not been great. Then he goes and scores the goal.
Yep.
And he was like sort of aye. So that was my thinking. That's why I think he'll stay in the team.
Yep.
Could well be, but otherwise you agree with Charlie's team. Yeah.
I think
good as a defender, Craig. You were a brilliant defender as well. Aaron Hickey. We haven't seen nearly as much as we would like to, but anyone who does see him thinks he's going to be he is a top class player. What do you like about him?
Good size, physically, for the role that he plays. He can cover that full length of the field, absolutely no issues at all. He's comfortable on the ball. Can also defend, which is the most important thing for me. And I think his development or progress since leaving Hearts has been quite phenomenal. So he shows that he's able to take on information and continually improve. And I don't think you've seen the best of yet. I think he's a really, really good player.
Yeah, I agree. Really good footballer, can defend, can go inside, go outside. Hard to tell what foot he is a lot of the time, because I think he might actually be left-sided. And he plays in the right, so he shows how good he is with both feet. It's amazing to think he was let go for Celtic when he was 15.
Yeah.
To go and then play for Hearts and go down to Brentford. Brilliant to have him back. He's a great addition. Great to have him in the squad and playing.
Do you think, big question, is he going to be as good as you were? I could say that to both of you.
It'd be a different position for sure.
Yeah.
I know Charlie played
sure.
some days, and also we both probably got stuck with playing out in fullback roles, which we hated.
Yeah,
I hated.
Did you?
Oh.
Yeah, it's very different. I would imagine.
Put me in the centre all day long.
And then the wing back's even more different, because you need to be a winger and you need to be a fullback.
Sure. Yeah.
So he's a lot fitter than me, I'd imagine.
Need to be able to beat players, and that wasn't in my locker.
I had the chop because I couldn't run. So I couldn't pace. I just used to swing my leg, and if nobody went for the chop, I was done.
What about Andy Robertson? Now entering, what is he, 31?
Yeah.
For Andy Robertson, in and out this year at Liverpool because of all the signings. But my goodness, that's another chapter, isn't it? But what's happened down there?
And he played unbelievable against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
He was brilliant.
Yeah.
Aye. My two sons actually went down to the game.
Oh yeah, how'd they go on?
Andy sorted ticket. Brilliant. Aye, it was brilliant. And so I watched him closely. Obviously played. He's not been playing because they've got Kerkez, but Andy Robertson stepped in, and they got a clean sheet that night, and he was absolutely brilliant. I think he'll get back in that Liverpool team because that performance that night, he was brilliant. And again, 31-year-old captain Scotland, and the attitude he's shown, the amount of games he's played. He's won 2 Champions Leagues. A Scottish player that's won 2 Champions League. He's definitely to go down as a Scotland legend. I think sometimes as a fullback played for Scotland, when you're playing for Liverpool, everybody goes, "Oh yes, Andy Robertson for Liverpool, let's see what he does." But at the end of the day, you're a fullback. Do you know what I mean? When Gareth Bale and that are playing for Wales, they're forward players. They're creating and scoring goals. Andy Robertson is a fullback, so he's been brilliant at what he's done for Scotland. He's just not that. He's just not a forward player that's going to grab the headlines all the time.
And how was he as your captain when you were playing for Scotland?
Yeah, he was very good. Yeah. Brilliant. Always sort of wanting the best for the lads. Always kind of led by example in the way he trained and the way he communicated during training and how he put the effort in, and how he delivered the manager's message and took our sort of things that we wanted to be better back to the manager. He was brilliant, top class, couldn't complain about anything.
And a great role model for young boys and girls coming through in football, because he didn't get it easy. Released by Celtic, Celtic boys, but certainly youths there, and went to Queen's Park.
Great story how he's got to such a top level, and just goes to show you that there's many ways to get to the top. Great professional, always steady. He's a great outlet going forward. Probably in the final third, not amazing, but that's not his job. Look, he's probably got another cycle in him as well, Paul. Let's be honest. He's only 31. Brilliant. Yeah. Brilliant.
I see his contract's up at the end of this season, I think. Charlie, looking at you first. The question, is he going to come back to
I seen he was
Scotland?
linked to Celtic, a pre-contract. 100%. I'd take him back. 100%. Why not? I know Kieran Tierney's come in. So you get two left backs.
It's the same problem you've had for the national team for the last 2 or 3 years. Where do you fit him? Where do you fit him both?
I know. What would you do with him? That's a good point. Well, if Nancy comes in and plays a back three, there you go, right away. Tierney's your left centre back, Robertson's your left wing back. But then again, the argument would be, do you play a massive part of your budget in wages on two left backs? That would maybe be the balance. It depends how your budget is. If you've got you would want your big money to be going on strikers and creative midfielders rather than.
They've got plenty of money in the bank, mate. Come on.
It's whether they spend it though.
More on that. And in Scotland next.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Enjoy the £5.99 regular Whopper meal. Juicier than ever and bursting with flavour. With fries and a drink. Only on the app.
Let's go!
We're going through the Scotland team, what we think it's going to be for the match on Saturday evening. The England team's coming up shortly. We're not that bothered, but Pickford, James, Konsa, Stones, O'Reilly, Anderson, Rice, Rodgers, Saka, Jude Bellingham's on the bench. I can tell you that because it's just changed on Sky there against Serbia. Mitrovic, of course, he's not playing tonight. I think he's injured, Craig, but Mitrovic, of course, we came up against him on the way.
Against him.
What was he like? How good was he?
He was. He played for Newcastle. We played against Newcastle in the Championship when he played. He was a beast, could hold the ball in, well done. He was a really good player.
Marshall's goal, his save against him was just one of those moments, wasn't it?
It's a penalty, yeah?
Yeah, it was. Penalty
save, yeah.
Yep. Mitrovic against Marshall, David Marshall, boom.
And then what was that song? The song that Scotland celebrated
That's
to?
right, yes, sir. I Can Boogie.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
I Can
Boogie.
Love that.
Still in the videos and Go Radio, it's there. Cy Ferry, Barry Ferguson, Rob McLean as well, myself.
Where was that?
In here.
Oh, what,
in the studio, we were doing it. Yeah. We had a big lineup in those days, Charlie.
Mitrovic, Paul, he's just moved, I think, to Qatar.
Yeah.
From Saudi.
Big money,
Saudi, got big money. I mean, he was on big money in Saudi as well. But
see, Roberto Mancini's gone there as well, I see, to manage a team over there. There's so much money. Yeah, Rashford, Kane. I'll give you more on that shortly. Looking to see Ireland tonight with Ronaldo in town. Charlie and Liam Scales. The word is he could well start tonight for Ireland.
Yeah, Scales has been brilliant this season for the majority of the season. When Celtic won, they scoring goals. He was keeping clean sheets, so it'd be good to see him play. They're playing Falk. Are they playing Portugal tonight?
They are indeed. Yep. So it's internationals. That's it. Getting underway. It's been a bit of a long kind of run into it, Craig. I would say. I know you've just flown in, but that's good news from a prep point of view. I would imagine international get time together.
Well, they don't normally get too much time together, Paul, do they? Normally it's a couple of days and a game and recovery. So certainly the coaches will be looking for that little bit of extra time leading in.
Mm-hmm. Do you know how long ago that was since that game?
What game?
The Serbia.
3 years.
Mitrovic. Give me more than 3.
Okay, 3.5.
5.
I gave him that one 5 because I couldn't be bothered going on.
That
5 years
was it?
yesterday.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
5 years yesterday. Thank you, Gary.
So that was COVID, just after COVID?
Was it? Yeah.
I seen the other day only 3 reporters went over at that game because you had to quarantine for 2 weeks when you came back, so only 3 made it.
Wow.
With no fans in that, but remember Marshall's celebration where he didn't know if it was on the line or not.
Waited, didn't he?
Right.
Yeah. We were watching. Phil Foden's on the bench as well for England tonight. How is it that they've qualified already, Charlie? I mean, they're a superpower, I suppose, in football.
Look at their squad.
I know.
Because they're seeded as well, yeah. Because they're seeded initially in the draw, so
they've got some
they're
squad.
normally
That
the top
squad,
team.
they need to be looking to try and win that World Cup. They don't need to worry about qualifying, do they? They're always going to qualify.
Absolutely. So,
Anyway, I don't know who O'Reilly is. Who's O'Reilly?
We'll check. I don't know. Has that just come up there? Yeah.
Just come up O'Reilly. I've never heard of him. Don't know that.
So is that the Republic of Ireland team?
Darren's on, a Rangers fan, saying, guys, what do you think? John Souttar, looking at you, Craig, first of all. John Souttar, some of his best football is for Scotland these days. Would that be fair?
Yeah. Look, John, for me, is an honest player who gives absolutely everything. Puts his body on the line, which is probably why he's had also the injuries, but he's had a good clean run of late, which is great. Now for Scotland he's been very good when backs to the wall kind of stuff. But to be honest with you, Paul, I think in Scotland, yes, I think at Rangers at times he's disappointed for me because I think he can be better defensively. But sometimes a switch from domestic football to international football is completely different, and it's about being able to adapt. And certainly John has found the way to be able to do that with the national team. I think since coming back into the fold, he certainly made Scotland look a lot sturdier at the back, in my opinion.
Charlie?
Yeah, he's a good quality. He's John Souttar with Rangers this season. Obviously, it's been up and down, so the whole squad's not looked great. Sure, hoping under Danny Röhl we can kick on, but for Scotland, he's definitely been been very good.
Yes,
Next to Hanley helps with his experience and
Hanley was unbelievable. On the back of very little football. Was it the last game against Greece?
Absolutely.
Greece
he's
as well?
been brilliant for Hibs. I've watched 3 or 4 of Hibs games this year, and he's been the difference for Hibs. They were conceding a lot of goals at the start of the season. 2 each they were drawing, 3 each, another 2 each against Kilmarnock. They were being in the leading games and coming back. Since he's come in the team, I've conceded something like 2 goals in the last 5 games and picked up a lot more points. So he's definitely been a massive difference for Scotland and for Hibs.
Punches above his weight, Paul, because he's not the biggest Charlie for a central defender, is he?
Well, he's 6 foot. He'll be 6'2".
He's not 6'2".
6'2". I would say
Is he?
6'3", maybe.
It doesn't look it. Doesn't look it. I
Yeah.
thought he was quite a small central defender. So
He's what he is that people don't know. He's so quick.
he is quick, yes.
He moves his feet quick. He's big. Hanley's got a lot of great attributes. He's not so good in possession of the ball. But recently, I watched him against St Mirren. He's pausing on the ball and taking his time, and he's really developed that side of it. So, listen, Hanley's in his peak years as a player. I think he's looking really good.
Nico O'Reilly, of course, is the 20-year-old left back. He can play midfield as well. Man City. That just flashed up there. Did that come up? Is he in the squad?
He's playing.
Is he playing? Right.
playing.
He's in from the start. What about Scotland? John McGinn signed a new contract at Villa just a few days ago, and it's a mark of just how. I'm just thinking about the players that are so close to getting to World Cup finals for the first time, and he'd be one of the ones. Listen, they all deserve to be there, but what a career John has had.
He's brilliant, and to be the captain at Aston Villa under Unai Emery, the manager who's done so well, and be one of their top players and the leaders in that changing room and consistently playing at a high level, deserves all the credit. You've got Andy Robertson with 2 Champions Leagues. You've got McTominay, Ballon d'Or nominee. I mean,
Wow.
there's a right good nucleus of a squad there playing at a real high level.
Sure is.
I was just thinking about with McGinn. Was it the start of this season, Paul, or was it back end of last season where him and Unai Emery had a little bit of or he's left out, or there was a little bit of a spell there where it was like, oh,
Coming off the bench.
is he potentially gonna move on at some stage? So again, listen, we're not surprised. He's an amazing professional. Gets back at it.
But you're right, there was speculation.
There was
Everton
speculation.
I think wanted him.
And I'm not
Davy
sure,
Moyes.
was that this season or was it the back end?
Yeah, it was. No,
Was it?
you're right. The back end of last season. Remember they had Rashford in there. They had a few other players they had. And yeah, you're right. He was on the bench or he was coming off early or whatever.
So again, I think this is all about testing the character. But again, he's an amazing professional. Another fantastic story. And just keeps getting better by the games with Scotland. He's amazing. He actually gives the supporters unbelievable energy.
Yeah,
Sure he does. Yeah,
like brilliant. Him and McTominay, the goals they've scored, the important goals they've scored. McGinn running about the boys as well. Just being in the change room with the lads. The lads love him. He's just one of the lads.
Remember he did that thing in Germany with when we arrived. What was it he did again? He arrived and was at a dance or something he had to do with the locals. Remember?
Oh, that's right. When they arrived at the hotel.
Aye, yeah.
That's right. I remember seeing that. That's the character he is. He's brilliant. The lads love him. He's just so down to earth and just one of the boys that's never kind of forgot himself. So he'll be a huge part. Never mind on the pitch, off the pitch, bringing everybody together, making sure it's a tight knit group. He'll be a huge part of that.
And you know who made him captain at Aston Villa?
Gerrard.
It was Steven Gerrard. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. So I think it was a good move by Steven Gerrard, who people will say, his time at Aston Villa wasn't that great. And he left Rangers to go to Villa. And they had money to spend. They're a hugely wealthy club, as you know. The owners there they've got massive amounts of money. But Steven Gerrard made John McGinn his captain.
Because he fell out. Steven Gerrard fell out with the central defender who was captain at the time.
He did, that's right.
Names escape me. Had an injury.
Yep,
there you go.
done.
There you go. See, big man, that's why we're on together.
That's right, you too.
Ping pong.
Enjoy it while you can. International week. Is there anyone we haven't spoken about yet in the team? No, not at all. I'll tell you who. And Kieran Tierney, this golden generation of players, and Kieran Tierney is one of them, isn't he? Who, with Scotland, would love and deserve to go to a World Cup, Craig.
Yeah, and he absolutely is. And there's a cluster of players here that are certainly part of that. It's about taking that opportunity, guys, because again, there's a similar situation in Australia. golden generation, Mark Bosnich and others, missed out on ever playing in a World Cup.
I've got a question for you, right?
Right. Well, is that what he's laughing about when I had my head down?
No, I was laughing at
McTominay,
me.
McGinn, Tierney, Robertson, right? We'll take them as probably the most high profile.
Yes.
You would say what the most valuable members of the squad, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you say so, they four?
Yep.
Tierney, Robertson, McGinn, McTominay, MD are missing. You had to swap one of the players.
I mean, Billy Gilmour's on the edge of that as well, isn't he? You know,
Well, Billy Gilmour, right? So Billy Gilmour's another one, right? So Billy Gilmour, Tierney, Robertson, McGinn, McTominay, they five. You had to swap one of the players for two other players at any other nationality. What two players would you swap in, and what players would you swap out?
That's a great question for the listeners.
is it? Yeah, I was going to say. I didn't know it was
There you go,
exam
for the
time.
listeners, get in.
Joko
Who would you
days.
swap out? So I would swap out some form of defender. So probably at this moment I'd probably swap out Tierney, no disrespect to Tierney, and I would bring in a striker.
And who would you bring in?
I would bring in
current day players, you mean?
current players. I'd bring in Haaland.
Oh yeah,
Tierney out, Haaland in.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to
change. So maybe like a team that is not going to go to the World Cup that could add the strength to that.
Man City.
Well, that's why I said Haaland.
Man City are not going to the World Cup. So okay.
Well, they're not going anywhere, are they?
Norway, no.
They didn't go last time also.
I know. Yeah. So that's a really good question. Yeah.
I need to get the small print it right though, don't I?
Exactly, it's fine. And the prize is a round of golf, pitched to par. We haven't mentioned that for ages with Charlie Mulgrew. I mean, I know I'm on your Insta now. There's a lot of good stuff on it. Yeah, some good stuff in there as well.
Block.
He probably will. So that's a great question. And what about Harling? What were his numbers so far? Is he not up at 20 or something already?
Yeah, he is.
Goals. I mean, it is phenomenal. And why is it? Is it by accident that we don't have? I'm not saying.
Our
Look at
top
the
players
goalkeeping
have came
position.
out like midfielder. I know McTominay's more forward.
But we don't have many strikers, do we? We don't.
I know.
Shea Adams does well, you know.
Yeah.
But
Why is that? Why is that?
I don't know.
Why is that?
But not as many people play in that position anymore. Is that true?
But why
People
is
used to
that?
want to be a number 9,
know.
but now they all talk about number 6. You know, that was never mentioned before. I don't know. Is it all the chat in football and all the
But then
people?
other countries are producing them, so what's their excuse?
That's true.
It's got to be a reason, but you're right. Scotland now produce, I would say, more midfield players. In general, than say like remember the 80s, the 70s, 80s. Like virtually every English club had a Scottish striker.
Yeah, exactly.
Had a Scottish striker of a level.
Sure. Well, Dennis Law, for
level.
example. Kenny Dalglish. Have you seen the document? No, we've done that one.
There was loads, wasn't there? Andy Gray. And
Andy Gray.
There was
Good shout.
the boy at Everton.
There's some more.
The Everton striker as well.
exactly. Yeah,
there
the
was
Scots boy.
There was
Yeah.
loads. Yeah, sorry.
No,
I'm
you're
not trying
right.
to think of the name.
I know. I don't know why it is.
Big Duncan later on.
When's the last striker? What was it? The last
Dunk.
top striker?
To come out of Scotland and
Come out
go
of
down
Scotland.
south. Yep. Sharp was one of them, wasn't he? I'm not saying it's the last
That's the one I was thinking of from Everton.
Sure, exactly. Yeah. Andy Gray, what a striker
Andy
he was.
Gray.
Yeah.
I
Is he,
did-
is he still on the telly in the Middle East? I think
Yes,
he is, probably.
Yes,
yeah.
he is. I actually seen him when I was.
Yeah, okay.
Not
You saw
face to
and you
face.
saw
I've seen him
Duncan
on the
Ferguson.
television.
Big Dunk, how is he?
Big Dunk was looking $1 million. He really
Is
was.
he over there talking about his time at Inverness? or-
He was
No.
talking about everything, and Inverness also did get a mention, Paul. No, it was a good night with Duncan in Dubai.
What's he saying about any word about Chermiti, for example? Because with his long association with Everton, what does he think?
He mentioned that again, Chermiti was a young player that hadn't really played a great deal, but you know has the tools. But at a club like Rangers, you can have all the tools, but you don't have the time. You need to be able to hit the ground running, and so he felt for the kid a little bit. But when you hear the word kid as well, Rangers and Celtic need men. And that's the.
Imagine a big donkey back up here, or even playing for Scotland.
He said there, Charlie, he said there that he probably cut, he says, because obviously Rangers family, he come at 4 million from Dundee United back in the day, which was huge money.
yeah.
All right, he was only 21. He said, but I'll probably come to Rangers a year too early.
Did he?
Yeah, he says, I mean, McCoist and Haitley were unbelievable at that time. You know, they, as a front two, they were very, very hot. So he says, like, if I probably come 12 months later,
Yeah.
He touched on all different things. He touched on obviously going to jail. Touched on Inverness in terms of the situation, which was a sad situation because he was enjoying it, but went into administration. I didn't realise that he'd come right through the system at Everton in terms of his coaching. He coached from kids 12 years old all the way up. I never realised that. And he's really keen to stay involved or to try to get back involved in the game. Hasn't touched a drop of alcohol for 15 years.
Is that right? So had he given up the bevy?
He says he says when you speak to Dunk, he says that it played a big part in his life, but not in a good way.
But it's good that he has done something about it.
Yeah.
I mean, John White,
have you ever heard him tell the story about
sober.
when the people broke into his house?
Yeah, he touched on that as well.
Absolutely brilliant.
Right?
He's late after a game. Are you going to go to an advert here?
No, on you go. Yes, I am actually. I have to. Gary's saying, don't touch the dial. Whatever that means.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Save big with 6 chili cheese bites for just £1.99. Crispy on the outside, smooth and spicy on the inside. Exclusively on the app.
Let's go!
The Go Radio Football Show. We're rapidly running out of time. We'll give you maybe more stories the next time you two are on together. But we're now down to the business end of looking at. But a few Rangers fans are on asking as well, Craig, since you haven't been on for a couple of weeks because you've been away. Can Rangers still, can they catch Celtic?
Yeah.
You did say that earlier on.
I believe that there is an opportunity to do that, yes.
Does that mean then that you can win the league? In other words, can Celtic catch Hearts?
Yes.
What do you think Hearts' chances are of winning the league?
Yeah.
I think that there is a chance. I think there is a chance, but I don't think it's a big chance. I'm not going to, you know what, Charlie, I'm not going to be one of those ones that say, I think somebody done a post or something. Listen.
I'm trying to drag you down with me.
No, listen. Hearts have slipped up. They've dropped. They've had a couple of draws and that sort of stuff, which I think is either going to make them or break them. And it's still very, very early on. But I think that the 2 draws that they've taken, I think will probably help them to the turn of the year. Then it's a conversation, Charlie. We can start again.
And Charlie, I see Braga was named as Player of the Month. Yeah.
Really, what I like about him the most is the amount of running he does without the ball. He walks his cell into a good game.
Yeah.
Even when he's no brilliant in possession stuff, he runs. Doesn't he stop running? It's brilliant to watch, and the fans love him.
He's quick, eh?
So quick. He's a bit like Maeda, the way he walks. I don't know if he's quicker or as quick, but the way he walks is brilliant. He walks his cell into some great positions.
Kisaridis, he had the goal at the weekend. Did we not just give it to him instead of saying it's an OG? That's crazy.
I know.
I mean, they should just stop that. So, in fact, Gary, let's add that to the goal scorers. Kisaridis, rather than that own goal. I mean, it's hard enough to score goal. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
Entertainment business. Why are you putting it against a keeper who did? It wasn't the keeper's fault,
Keeper
was
doesn't
it?
want an own goal against his name, does he?
No, let's change that.
But see now, Paul. See now, right? Out of every team, I think he's been the most entertaining, exciting player to watch this season, Kisaridis.
Yeah.
Very good.
I think that's a good shout. Yeah. Rangers still not happy with Willie Collum. I don't know what they want to happen, but I see Willie Collum saying that he backed Nick Walsh. I think a lot of referees felt that was the right decision. I think so. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Because on the panel, there's 2 former. Yeah,
three
a
people
few
on the
former
panel?
players. There'll be a referee, ex-referee, but they feel that technically, look, he shouldn't have done it. There's a few things in there, Charlie. He shouldn't have done it.
It's done now, though. I mean, if we had to scrape up every single decision that went against teams, you'd be doing it for weeks. I think that Rangers just need to move on. It's just one of these things.
Again, I'm going to say I was away as well. Look, should Trusty do it? Absolutely not. Is there force to it? Absolutely not. There doesn't need to be force if a stud goes in the eye.
Yeah, sure. He shouldn't have done it.
Absolutely.
I know that about it. It's a sending off.
But then Peter Grant the other night quite rightly saying, what about Cornelius? What about... And then it goes on and on and on.
Because it does. Because it opens up a can of worms because there's always other incidents.
It was, Craig. It was a really good game of football. It was on Premier Sports.
Yes.
It was on your Premier Sports. So at least people were watching it and going, wow, what a great game of football.
Again, I was away for it, Paul, but again, Celtic obviously come out and win the game in extra time. Rangers showed a side that I guess their supporters could attach themselves to in terms of going down to 10 men and showing fight, still trying to press, still trying to play. in the end, the tank ran out. And Celtic come home a little bit too strong.
I was reading in the record this morning, they're saying that Dyson Maeda, there's a deal that he can go in January. Now, that's not that surprising, I would think, Charlie, but what do you feel?
Well, I think he wanted to go in the last window, so he's obviously going to be pushing to go in this window, and I think it's easier if you sort of give a player a carrot to say, right, well, you're here till January. If you want to go that much, you don't want to hold players against their will. So if he wants to go, like, on you go, you can go, but give us everything you've got for now to January, and that's fair enough.
Martin O'Neill, manager at the moment. Will he be next week? We don't know yet. Talks are going on just now. This was his advice for his successor, if there is one in the coming days.
If I'm leaving now, I'm going to tell the next manager he has got the greatest squad that's ever lived. Because then, and then if I'm staying on, I'm saying we've got a lot of work to do. So there we are. Okay, so... All right, okay. So I've seen loads of managers doing this, and then finding out that they've actually had to stay on. And then once they've said they've left a big squad, and then, oh gosh, he's actually stayed on, I think, oh, loads of work to do. I genuinely don't even have to tell you this here. You can see outside what we have and what we don't.
Craig, to take you back when you were up against his Celtic. But anyway, Martin O'Neill, something in there. He was also asked, what about the future? What's going to happen? This was him on Sunday night. We may never know. Here it is one more time.
No, I don't. Genuinely don't know.
It just doesn't want to play that one. But there could be talks going on just now in London. And
yeah, there's got to be talks. There'll be sorting something out behind the scenes, no matter what that is, who they can bring in, how quickly they can bring them in, or if they keep Martin O'Neill on, I don't know. But when you look at the size of the squad, our first team players in there as well, the new manager, whether it's Martin O'Neill or whether it's somebody else in January, has to get players out the door as well. There's don't know how many, but there must be at least 30 first team players in there that are clogging up the system that need to move on to get players in. So there's a lot of work needing done.
At Rangers, Mikey Moore got his first goal at the weekend.
Yeah, I was buzzing to finally get on the score sheet, and a bit relieved in a way because it's been a while since I last scored. So yeah, I was over the moon.
And Craig, you're now seeing why Tottenham rate him so highly.
Yeah, look, he scores a really good goal. He gets involved in the play earlier on from that central area. A little give and go. He continues to follow up, and a good finish at the edge of the box. He has a goal disallowed for offside. So there's certainly a better feeling from Mikey Moore and a confidence. Just looked a little bit more at home in the central area, where he looked really uncomfortable for majority of the season. So something's clicked into gear, and it was a positive performance for him.
The road's clear now in the M8. That major problem earlier is fine now round about westbound at junction 22. That's good news. Charlie, we won't see you until after the game on Saturday, so what do you think in Greece? How are we going to do?
I think that we will get a one each.
Right.
One each draw I'm going to go for. I think that Greece will be a big threat, but I reckon we'll score on the break, and Greece will nick one as well, and it'll be a positive result.
That would set us up nicely. What do you think, Craig?
My heart and head are probably, I think, together on this. I'm also thinking a draw. And for obvious reasons, or for anybody following, I don't really care whether it's 0-0, 1-1, 2-2. A draw to go to that last day, go to the wire with a chance to win that game to go to the World Cup and be in your own hands, I think would be a wonderful position to be in.
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Hopefully we will.
It would. I think we would take a draw right now, obviously, because then you just come back and you've got the big game at Hampden to beat Denmark, which again will be hard. They're obviously a good team. So first things first though, Greece, let's go there and get a positive. I think after the last two games, Paul, the results were brilliant, but the performances were some of the worst it's been in a while. So that could be a positive, because the manager, although he knows its points, he then goes, right, this needs to be better. So hopefully you get a reaction with the performance and you also get the result. That's what I'm hoping for.
Both Charlie and I have gone with a draw.
Yep.
Scotland don't need to go and play for a draw, though, because that could be dangerous.
Yeah. Thanks so much, guys. Back tomorrow night. Stephen McGinn will be here along with Richard Foster. Thanks so much for the last 2 hours. And next, it's the news and then Jokel Day.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Enjoy the £5.99 regular Whopper meal. Juicier than ever and bursting with flavour. With fries and a drink. Only on the app.
Let's go! The Flame Grilled Whopper from Burger King. The most food-filling burger.
Is it though?
Is that?
Yes. A slightly better version of you.
I don't understand.
Just like the new Whopper that's juicier and tastier than ever before. Same, but hits different. That's my line now.
Oh, sorry.
Whopper never tasted so good. Order now on the Burger King app.